This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, it's a Monday, so we'll be discussing nutrition. And today's topic, it's about nourishing your stores after a delivery. So you've gone through 9 months of, pregnancy, you've delivered. Now, how do you nourish your stores so you can get back to being healthy again? I have been joined by Akosua Konadu Yiadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist. And throughout the conversation, if you have any questions for her, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585-832. Good morning, Akosua.
Good morning, Dziffa.
How are you?
I'm fine.
It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, I'm humbled. I love your dress.
How important is it for us to be conscious of nourishing our stores after we deliver?
Dziffa, everything about life, everything about we being women is amazing. Yes, we are the last one, so we are too special. And so it is very important for us to be taking good care of ourselves. We've been talking about how to enrich your stores before you get pregnant. Now we've delivered, so we need to also pay attention to us as far as our stores are concerned. I work in a health sector, and you realize that sometimes due to one or two reasons, women will have challenges, especially right after delivery. You expect that certain things will happen and they are not happening. So it's very critical for us as women to have our nutritional stores enhanced on after delivery, because something has been taken away from you, and it can be a CS session and a C session. Sorry, it could be that's the SVD, that's the spontaneous vaginal delivery. So depending on whatever you went through as a woman, you definitely will need your stores to be enhanced on to make sure that you are set back on track, so you can look like you are looking, Dziffa. Because you delivered, you are not supposed to look a certain way. Yes, so it's very critical for women.
What is lost in that process? Like, if I give birth today, what do I lose that I now have to nourish again?
Okay, Dziffa, you were keeping a whole human being in you, and you know that once the baby is out, it's like there's this hole or vacuum that will need to be taken care of. I always see patients and go like, you delivered, baby is out, why is the tummy too big? Like in a way of we trying to play, so that I get them to know that you need to do something to make sure that belly I'm seeing is taken care of. Because if baby is out, why is it that your belly looks sane? So it means that something will need to be done to make sure we kind of help the healing process, because it's all part of you healing as a woman. Yes, you need to heal, because I always say that your womb enlarged to accommodate a human being, and now the baby is out, the womb will need to shrink back to its normal state. It needs to get back to Dziffa looking sleeky. Yes, you need to come back to that size before you had a baby. And so there are things you need to do. Yes, they are not difficult, they can be tiring.
So we'll get into the things you need to do, but like, do we lose iron, calcium? What are some of the things that we lose that we need to be intentional about gaining back?
Depending on how your pregnancy went. For instance, you can have patients coming in with low HP. And there's a reason why a lot of women die after delivery.
And HP is?
Hemoglobin. So you don't have healthy levels as far as your blood.
Red blood cells?
Yes, your blood is concerned. So you can have pregnant women being anemic. So depending on the process, how your pregnancy has been, it can be a smooth delivery for you. It could be a whole lot of hell for some women. So some women may lose a lot of blood, which is a common example that happens. So once you are losing a lot of blood, it means that there will definitely be a depletion in your iron stores, and so we will need to boost your iron level and make sure that we set you right. Or else sometimes you have women going through a lot of things, including even passing out. So they leave the facility, they left, you thought you had done everything for them, but they go on, something is so wrong. But so far so good. We've had it depends on who is also taking care of you, because I should be able to know that before you are left to go out of the facility, you are helped. And if there is something you need to be told as far as going home, to continue to help. is concerned, you need to be told, especially with the iron. So if your hemoglobin, yes, that's the HB level, is so low, we need to make sure that we are bringing it up. And maybe that will be a topic for discussion another time, how to bring your HB up, because I realize that a lot of women go through that. You can't die bringing another baby here. So we need to make sure you are eating well. Yes, you need to make sure you are enriching your iron stores. And we've spoken extensively about iron, Dziffa. So we know that when you take animal flesh and protein, yes, you are getting all the products, you are getting a lot of iron. And we've spoken extensively about inhibitors and enhancers. So this is an example of animal flesh and products, yes. So you need to make sure you are eating from the Ghana Health Service uses the 4-star diet. You have to make sure that you are eating from the animal flesh and product family. It has to do with...
So that's cheese, that's milk, that's egg, sausage, fish, chicken, meat.
So whatever works for you, and make sure it is
with the iron.
Yes, it's very healthy. So you can do the lean part. I came across a research that said that women after delivery, you are not supposed to go hard on red meat. You just have to make sure you are taking a lot of portion. But I would say that do what will work for you and try to stay in check as far as portion control is concerned. So eat the right quantities. I know that once you deliver, you need to eat more. And I have to say this important thing before we even continue. Before pregnancy, we are encouraged to eat breakfast, lunch, supper, and then do the healthy in-betweens.
Yes,
that's what Dziffa and myself and Kweku we've been discussing sometimes here. You have to make sure you add an extra meal when you are pregnant. So an extra meal during the first trimester, that is the first 3 months, you really don't need much, because you realize that it's very, very, very slippery. It's very, very difficult for some women as far as even assimilation is concerned, or keeping something in their bellies is concerned. So you don't have to be too hard on yourself, because baby is not also growing that big. But your prenatal vitamins or supplements are there to help you compensate for the loss, because like I also said, we don't plan our pregnancies in where we find ourselves. Other than that, you're supposed to take folic acid like 2 to 3 months before you even get pregnant. If you do it that way, then it means that if I'm able to do that, it means that I am conscious about the fact that I want to be pregnant, and so I will do what needs to be done as far as making sure my baby's health, myself, is also concerned. So once you deliver, now breastfeeding is setting in, and it's a very serious thing. And as a nutritionist, I tell every patient I attend to that the first 6 months of a child's life, everything the child will need is in breast milk. So you have to make sure that for the first 6 months, this human being is depending on you for breast milk for 6 months, and you have to feed 12 times a day. So
how do you ensure you are also
so you have to make sure that you are eating well? That's why I'm saying that you need to add an extra meal after delivery. So it is 3 when we are like this with your 2 in-betweens. It gets to 4, and then when you deliver, it should be 5.
Because of all
because of everything happening. Don't worry about your body. If you really are breastfeeding well, and breastfeeding at night and at dawn, and feeding baby on demand, and making sure you are feeding this number of times, by the time you are done with the exclusive and continues for up to 2 years, you will lose the body.
Is there a specific type of meal you should be eating to get enough breast milk? Is there something like I'm not eating a particular meal, so I'm running out of breast milk? Basically,
eating a healthy meal is good to go, but sometimes you need to be assisted as far as example, for somebody who just delivered. There are some, depending on whoever is taking care of you, some healthcare givers will tell you, okay, continue with your prenatal supplements or vitamins. For sometimes can go, like folic acid can go 6 weeks after delivery, because they want to make sure that you are set right as far as your blood levels are concerned. But for other people, including myself, I believe that there are postnatal vitamins that also would need to be given much prominence. And they are the vitamin B6, That's for general health being and then brain development. And this serves you benefits, you as a mother benefits and your child, because the baby is still growing. It's very, very, very fragile, very young, and we need a lot of nutrients. But you can't force a lot of things into the baby because we need just breast milk to stay in the baby. Yes, and then vitamin B12. B12 basically is the iron foods. And so if you are eating from the 4-star diet, you are satisfying almost all the postnatal vitamins we are talking about. Where there is a pitfall, then we can come in with a supplementation depending on whoever is taking care of you. And vitamin D for bone health. So for a child, a research somewhere, I think in the US, there were a lot of children were having rickets. So it was like we have to find a way of making sure that there is this serious supplementation. It was like a program. We have to do it because they don't have a lot of sunlight. We are so blessed. And so I sometimes tell mothers, okay, take the baby out at least 30 to 1 hour and make sure that the baby is exposed to sunlight so that the baby can have this natural form of vitamin D just to help with the baby's bones.
Okay, so aside the animal foods that we should eat, the poultry, fish, meat, what else should we eat to nourish our stores?
A lot of fruits and vegetables. When I meet patients who are Northerners and Nigerians, I'm like, you guys
have them in abundance.
You have them in abundance. They have a lot of leaves and everything we have.
So as you're looking at on your screen there, you can have green peppers, cabbage, onions, garlic, everything, you know, apple.
Depending on, I always say that depending on where you find yourself. We are so blessed. We are blessed as Africans. We are blessed as Ghanaians. We have everything sitting here. You can just walk into somebody, a friend just walks into somebody's backyard and gets
dandelions and call it a day.
Take dandelion. We are so blessed. So the green leafy, dark leafy green vegetables that are found within your location, because I like talking that way, so that if I find myself in East Legon, I know I can get this. If I find myself in Bunkrugu, I know that I can work with this. So any dark leafy green vegetable and the fruits are available. Just make sure you are taking them. When fruits are in season, we should make sure we are eating a lot of them. So aside the animal flesh and products, we're talking about fruits and vegetables, essential fats, and oils. So where essential fats and iron means that I'm talking about healthy oils.
Okay.
Yes, omega-3 fatty acid rich foods like fish. Yes.
Okay, so you have the salmon there, you have your pecans. Is that walnuts?
Yes, and then we have almonds. It helps a lot of new moms. The patients I see on the ward, it helps them. You combine it with something and then breast milk is
so you have your
all over
pear
the place.
right there.
Avocado.
Is that olive oil?
Yes.
Up there? Okay.
So once it's olive oil, it's sunflower oil. Once it's healthy, it means that it has something as far as omega-3 fatty acid is concerned. It means that you can take it. Yes, that's good fat. So
and of course, do it in moderation. So you don't do your potompoto and you dump like a whole half cup of palm oil on it.
Oil shouldn't sit on food.
On food, okay.
That's the clue. We should all keep it in mind. Oil shouldn't sit on food.
Okay.
Yes. And then aside essential fats, we have pulses, nuts, and seeds. Yes. So you have to make sure you are eating from all pulses, nuts, and seed. We have beans.
Okay, so you have your beans here. Wow, that's a wide range of beans.
I love pulses, legumes, nuts, and seeds because there is a lot to choose from depending on where you find yourself.
Peas, you can have your chickpeas if you have access to them. What else?
Yes, and then you have to take a lot of water too, Dziffa. Constantly keeping your body hydrated is very, very good. So you have people sometimes feeling uncomfortable with the smell of water. Yeah. Yes, and so lemon juice can be squeezed into your water just to add this nice flavor to it and make you. And there's research, and there are people who in research it helped as far as lemon water because it's a purifier. So you want to flush things out of your system, because I say that sometimes after delivery, especially C-section, you are given this sexy pants. I call it sexy pants just to make sure that the blood, the small clots that needs to come out all come out. And you just need to help yourself sometimes to make sure that these things are coming. It's not really easy with the C-section people, but I always say that once you are set on track to start eating, yes, make sure you have a normal life, eat healthy, and then just continue breastfeeding. You will reap every benefit thereof.
So we've talked about the animal-based diet, and we've also talked about the oils,
essential fats and oils,
and we talked about the beans,
pulses, nuts and seeds, legumes.
Should we have any starchy foods at all?
Of course, we're going there. So they are the staples. So we have the staples, and our staples in Ghana: the yam, the plantain, the rice, the banku, the kenke. They are the staples. I find it funny when people go like, "I'm going low on carbohydrates." Do you know what you are talking about? Yes, it has to be part of your meal. So everything we've spoken about should form a part of your meal. I always say that it's difficult for us to do it in our part of the world because you have people going for Hausa Koko and Kose, and you can't say that's a balanced diet. But by the time you are done with your 24-hour recall, as far as your diet history is concerned, we should make sure we are having every bit of what we showed in there. So if you took Koko, Hausa Koko, and then Kose, obviously there is beans in Kose. I'm believing that the woman used healthy fats to fry the kose. Millet and sorghum will give you something. If you added sugar, energy. Yes, your lunch you can go for, let's say, fufu with dry fish, adjoining coin.
But let's take a look at the types of starchy meals we can also consider, right? Starchy, so you have the bread. Cereal, so instead of cereal, you can substitute your cocoa for it.
Yes,
your
whatever works
your
for
Tom
you.
Brown for that. Pasta, I guess you can do some
spaghetti.
Yeah, or you can do some fonio for the rice because there's a lot of fiber in fonio, and it's produced locally as well. Oh, they have some in Accra now.
Oh, okay, they did well.
They bring some in Accra. Potatoes. So if you want to substitute yam or plantain for potatoes, you can do that. And of course, beans. We have black eyed peas in abundance here. I don't know.
The orange flesh, the potato, it's really loaded in lots of nutrients.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they are all good. Potatoes are all good, but the orange flesh.
The orange flesh is good.
They have a lot of benefit. You know that the woman just delivered, and we want to make sure that she's pampered as far as her stores and nutrition is concerned. So
what would you gain from these starchy foods as far as your nutrients are concerned?
Okay, so you need energy. You realize that after delivery, sometimes you go to them, you are talking to them and you're like, I want to eat, I'm hungry. Because if you have to go through a C-section, Dziffa, sometimes you are not to eat for 2 days, depending on how your pregnancy will go.
Wow.
Yes, and so the whole pregnancy process, delivery can really take time. For some people, 14 hours. So my friend, 1 hour, she had dilated 1 centimeter. So if you'd have to go that long, it was taking a lot of time for her. And so it can really delay your delivery, because once they've not gotten the proper dilation, you are never going to be allowed to push out. Yes. And so if this is how difficult it is for you as a woman. Some people, especially, the problem is mostly with the new mothers. Yes, so everything is new, and so sometimes, or a lot of times, they go through issues. Yes, for the one who has had 2, 3, sometimes you go, they are up. I'm like, who told you to get up? They're like, I'm okay, I want to get up, I want to walk, so that I don't have clotting. So it depends on the person and our bodies too, Dziffa. Yes, and so I don't know if I've answered your question, or you want me to talk more about the question you asked.
No, go ahead.
You need a lot of energy, like I said, yes.
And you can't do without
carbohydrates,
because that's what's going to give you
the
energy you need.
We need to make sure you are eating a healthy or a balanced meal. And carbohydrate is part of the nutrients that constitute a balanced meal.
So is it wrong to say, I just had a baby, I'm trying to get my sexy body back, so I'm going to go on a keto diet and just cut out carbs altogether?
I would say that's irresponsible.
Okay.
Period.
Why?
Because, Dziffa, I say that if you want to breastfeed, yes, and I'll always vouch for it. The reason why I can sit here and tell you not to, to use formula or formula for a baby will be that the mother had HIV, we couldn't detect, and so at delivery we got to know that, oh, mother has HIV. That way we want to protect that innocent baby who never asked the mother to go for that HIV. Yes, and so we'll tell you to go in with formula. I won't rule formula out outrightly. A mother delivered and just passed on. There is nobody to do wet feeding or nobody to continue with breastfeeding or even start breastfeeding in the first place. Should we let the child die because we want just natural breast milk? No, you'd have to do formula feed. But if you are alive, if you had no issues, there are women who may never be able to breastfeed. No matter how you try to help them, their ducts won't even open for milk to come out.
Even after they deliver?
I met a woman on the ward. She delivered 1 month. After 1 month, that was when she started seeing milk.
Wow.
Yes, and for another woman, 2 months. Sometimes the education is not there, I'm sorry to say, because if we were being taught certain things, you do it, and I look at the breast, I go like, Mom, you have milk. They're like, there's no milk. Then I try something small. They're like, what did you do? Because now the milk is coming.
Wow.
They're like, what? So I had milk. I was like, clearly I can see your breasts are engorged. Yeah. So if it's not any problem, I don't think it's even a medical condition. Once your breasts are engorged and I can feel that there is milk in there, and I express and you can clearly see that you have dots of milk there, what makes you think you can't breastfeed? Dziffa, if you feed well, like the 12 times every 2 hours, a mother, you'd have to put your baby to breast and make sure they are feeding. It is helping to prepare their digestion. It's working on their eating as far as their suckling reflexes is concerned. That's why we grew up and we're able to eat. If you don't do it so well, you worry your child, you worry yourself. After some time, your mother, you'll be frustrated. So you have to make sure that you are doing the right things. Once you feed well, you lose the baby fat. I met a client on the ward, a mother of 3. I just couldn't believe she had that body. She's like, every 1 hour, I put my baby to breast when I'm doing exclusive. And afterwards, I continue to feed. It has a lot of amazing benefits it does to you as a woman and your child. So one of the ideal ways to lose your weight after delivery or after pregnancy and delivery is to breastfeed.
Okay. Now, you know how when you're pregnant, we are advised don't smoke, don't drink alcohol, don't take certain things that would, affect the baby. Once the baby is out, can you go back to those bad habits, or through breastfeeding you might mess with your child as well?
An article I read was like, nature is so forgiving. Yeah, sometimes the things we do as mothers don't affect our babies, but we definitely pay for it as far as we are concerned. I always say that you can't influence the quality of breast milk. You are not the one who made it. God kept it there. So it is his, okay? That's why you can have somebody in a war-prone zone. Somalia, they show you images and mothers are still breastfeeding. Nothing has happened to the milk. But it has a way of affecting the mother in such a way that in the long run, it can affect the child. If I'm doing something that is causing me not to be able to make the right quantity of milk as a mother for my child, do you think I can go through this exclusive? I can't reap the benefits of exclusive where a woman can menstruate 2 years after delivery.
Wow.
Yes, it has to do with you doing exclusive breastfeeding and making sure you are properly feeding your child. Yes, so I told them, and their husbands are always like, really? Yeah. So my wife has to breastfeed because that is what it does. Is natural family planning for us as a couple. Yes, and so you'd have to, if you are doing it right, Dziffa, it has to go right. You'll be fine.
Now let's summarize what we've discussed so far as nourishing our stores after we deliver. So there's a picture of everything we've discussed that we'll go through. We started off with, increasing our animal fats. So that's the poultry, the fish, the chicken, or I said poultry, the eggs. You have that there, the milk, the sausages. Is really, well, is sausage healthy?
I wouldn't say, but I
it.
normally don't take what people are used to from them. And your question, yes, stop alcohol. Yes, leave the baby.
Okay.
Yes, let the baby grow. When baby is fully grown, you can
you
can continue.
Okay, so we've talked about the animal fats. So let's go on to the next one.
Yes, you asked about sausages. Yes, once in a while, I don't like when I'm planning people's meal. I get to know what your meal pattern and frequency is. I massage around it, and then I lobby with you. You can't. I'm used to taking meat for, let's say, 20 years, 30 years. You walk into my life one day and you want to take it away. Yes, I don't think I would want to do, I won't let you do that to me, so I won't do that to anybody. Yes. So back to the summary you spoke about.
So yes, that's the summary that
Your black mama is there, Dziffa.
We start off with very top there
proteins.
Proteins. So you really need to get your protein. So that's your meat, your fish, your poultry, and always take the lean part. Okay, don't just go get all the fatty parts of the protein. Of course, there's wheat grains. So that's your oatmeal, your brown rice, your wheat.
Well done.
For fiber, right?
Well done.
Beyond anything else. And of course, you need a bit of fat because you need that energy, okay? You've lost a lot of energy and you need to restore that energy.
And they need a lot of warmth too. New moms and their babies, they all need that warmth. Yeah, that warmth. So
the fatty foods help with that. Of course, there's fruits and vegetables. We have them in abundance. So you have your watermelon, you have your pineapple, you have your oranges, your banana. Just, eat them all. They are good for you. You have your contomere, you have your eggplant. You have a lot of things that are affordable. So make sure you have that on your plate. And, of course, other foods as well. So if you want to get a snack, you can grab some almonds, you can grab some groundnuts, you can grab some... What else? What else have I forgotten? Dziffa,
you've done well. At least work with whatever is available, depending on where you find yourself. And let me chip this in. Stop listening to people. They come to the facility, you realize that people are trying to... they've pumped a lot of things into them which really wouldn't help them. Yes, seek professional advice. And you can get in touch with Citi. Once Citi gives you the green card, I'll help you out.
So... Akosua, for how long should we be intentional about nourishing our stores after we deliver? So let's say I delivered today, right? Is it 6 months, 1 year, 2 years that I'm like, okay, let me be intentional about the kinds of things I eat to fully nourish my stores?
Okay, depending on how your pregnancy or your delivery was.
So I'm anemic, so naturally I'll probably lose a lot of blood because I don't have enough blood to begin with.
And also for somebody like you to go through a C-section, you can imagine the toll it will take on you. So depending on who is taking care of you, normally first day after C-section, we don't count it. So you give yourself 2 days before patients start eating, especially for fresh moms. Yes, you need, it's like I always say that there was war, your system was disturbed. Now, okay, we've calmed the situation that we have to allow things to settle. As far as that's your intestines. So somebody did some cutting, inserted, and then tried to look for head, bring it out. So everything in here has been disturbed. So we need to let it settle. So you'd have to pass air, sometimes use the loo, poop, before you are made to start eating. For some people, you can take a day. The first day is never part, so a day or two before they are set on track. So normally they start with leptin just to kind of start
or
the
any
whole
form
process.
Of tea, it's okay.
Leptin, basically, that's what I've observed a lot of times, leptin, so that you start gradually. But there are people who deliver today, especially my people from the north, and they want food to eat. And they're allowed to eat because those people are just too strong. Yes, so depending on how your pregnancy was or your delivery was, yes, you can be made to pause. But for you as a woman, I always tell patients, I can help you once you are here, but when you leave, or everybody here can help you, but once you leave, you need to be disciplined to really take good care of yourself. If you are eating a healthy meal, Dziffa, you are good to go. You just have to make sure that healthy eating is for everybody. It runs through the life cycle, the invalid, the convalescent. We all have to eat well. So you need to eat well. Once it's balanced and you identify a unique meal that will help you also make a lot of breast milk, aside the fact that you are supposed to eat from this group, because for some people, masque helps them a lot to make a lot of milk, breast milk. For some people, it's the browning cartier thing. For some people, it is soups. So I tell people, study your body, know what works for you, and satisfy your body as such, so that you can do your baby some good, because you never know what that child will become. I was like, if your child was our president, what would you have? You would have felt embarrassed if you never took care of this child very well. So I say, in my book, every child is a president. So make sure you take care of them as such. Eat well, take care of yourself, so that you'll be able to take care of the baby. Don't worry about your baby fat. Talk to a professional if you think it is so critical, you need to lose your body fat.
Thank you so much, Akosua Konadu Yiadom. So the 3 key takeaways are: 1, know your body, know what works for you, and stick to a healthy diet, not just for yourself, but for your baby, okay? Because you just delivered, you're going through a lot, but your body needs to get back to what it was before you had the baby, and you're breastfeeding as well. So you should be intentional about the kinds of things you put in your body. Akosua, where do we follow you on social media? Okay, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosua. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you too. And then if you want to get in touch, 0243 350206. Perfect. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this video.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Citi Tube,
for exclusive breakfast daily content and other Citi TV programs.
Like, comment, and share with your friends.